Twilight Tendrils. Chapter 1. Under Starry Eyes. Grace had never imagined herself settling in a small coastal town, surrounded by nothing but salt air and whispers of the past. Yet, here she stood, her grandmother's will in hand, outside the quaint bookstore she had bequeathed to her with a single condition: to live there for at least 6 months before selling it. The old woman's passing had left an abyss within her, forcing her back home after a decade-long absence, but also providing an opportunity for closure. Stepping onto foreign soil, Grace felt like an outsider, her heart heavy as the weight of memories she'd rather forget. The once vibrant bookstore, now moonlit pages, seemed to whisper promises of escapism and comfort. The bell above the door jangled as she pushed it open, its familiar chime a bittersweet reminder of happier times. Dust danced in thin rays of sunlight filtering through grimy windows, while the musty smell of aged paper enveloped her. A man with an untamed beard and piercing green eyes looked up from behind the counter, his gaze lingering on hers for a moment longer than necessary before returning to the book he was holding open. Grace couldn't help but notice how his hair curled slightly at the nape of his neck, enticing her curiosity. His rugged features were etched with lines that spoke of 1,000 stories, each one waiting to be unraveled within those pages. "Welcome to Moonlit Pages," he said gruffly, his voice as deep as the ocean she'd grown accustomed to hearing. She introduced herself, and Alex, the proprietor, nodded, acknowledging her presence without curiosity. As Grace explored the aisles, fingers tracing over spines of novels that seemed to hold stories of their own, a rustling behind her signaled his approach. "Lost?" he asked, his tone softer now. She turned to find him closer than expected, those eyes an unsettling shade between emerald and jade in this dim light. "Not yet." His gaze swept over the shelves before meeting hers once more. "I hope you find what you're searching for." With each passing day, Grace found solace in moonlit pages. Conversations with Alex began as simple book recommendations but evolved into discussions of life's intricate tapestries woven from literature and personal anecdotes. One evening, as twilight painted the sky in hues of crimson and gold, they lingered outside, drawn to the same spot where her grandmother had often told her stories under the starry canvas. The air was alive with the salty scent of the ocean and the promise of secrets only shared within its silence. Underneath the vast expanse, Grace felt an inexplicable ease, as though this chance encounter could have led her straight into Alex's arms. He handed her a worn copy of Wuthering Heights. "For you." The gesture was unexpected yet fitting, a nod to their shared love for Bronte and the melancholy within them. They walked together on that fateful night, words intertwining with footsteps, creating a symphony of laughter and silence. "Your grandmother's favorite novel," he admitted, eyes shining with a hint of warmth. "I'm sorry for your loss." The sincerity in his voice tugged at her heartstrings, threatening to unravel the carefully knotted threads she had wrapped around it. Days blurred into weeks, their connection deepened as did their shared passion for stories and the mystery that was Alex himself. Yet, he remained elusive. A phantom presence often disappearing behind shelves or in the back room. The allure of his enigma piqued Grace's curiosity more than any love story she had ever read. One evening, as they closed up shop, he offered an unexpected invitation: join him for stargazing on the beach. Beneath the night sky, he handed her a pair of binoculars and pulled out a telescope. "Let the cosmos tell us our own story." As they gazed at distant worlds, their hands touched, sparking a jolt that traversed the distance between them. The stars twinkled like old friendships, whispering secrets in a language only known to those who understood. A gentle breeze carried away Grace's whispered, "Thank you," and Alex's hand brushed against hers once more as they parted ways under the moonlight. It was then she realized. Though he'd never asked her name. Their connection had transcended words, becoming something tangible, like a shared heartbeat in the vast universe. They stood there, suspended between the promise of new beginnings and the reality of small town whispers. Alex's past remained cloaked in mystery, but his present was where Grace wanted to be, amidst the pages that brought them together. A silent understanding settled between them, promising more than a friendship forged over literature. "Will you stay?" he asked the night before she was set to leave for good, and the question pierced her heart with an unexpected longing. The weight of the choice hung heavy on the tip of his tongue, but not on hers, as if daring fate to intervene. In that moment, Grace realized she had fallen, albeit slowly. She'd return for him. Her grandmother's house was now her solace and moonlit pages a refuge. Yet, with every decision came fear, the kind that could ruin the delicate dance of newfound connection. The next morning, sitting amidst stacks of books, Alex left a note, "Please stay." In it, he confessed his dreams for a literary festival, and an invitation to join him as company organizers. Chapter 2. Beneath Moonlight's Whispers. As planning for the festival progressed, their bond strengthened yet remained fragile. Behind closed doors at Moonlit Pages, they planned events that would bring together people from all corners of the town, weaving words into a tapestry that would bind them together. Outside, his past began to unravel, threatening the delicate balance between love and secrets. Claire, a local, dropped by for an event update, her eyes darting towards Alex with an unsettling intensity. "Remember our town's history," she warned Grace in hushed tones before leaving. "Secrets were always buried beneath the surface here." Claire knew more than she let on, but the truth remained shrouded. That night, under a sky reminiscent of their first encounter, Claire confronted Alex. The past Alex had long kept hidden threatened to uproot everything they'd built. Tears in her eyes, he revealed his estranged marriage. A loveless union that ended with an affair and the birth of a child he knew not to be his. The father was her husband's best friend. In this moment, Grace witnessed the man she thought she'd grown accustomed to, the pain etched across Alex's face. Aching for him, yet torn between the truth and her own heartache, she whispered a plea. "Trust or let go of what could have been." Alex chose the former with an embrace that ignited the very stars they admired. They found solace in each other, but their love was now entwined with the threads of others' gossip. Chapter 3. The Dawn of Hope. Alex faced the woman who held his past, her hands shaking as she handed him a photograph. "Your son," she said, eyes brimming with an unspoken apology. The child bore an uncanny resemblance to him. A reminder of choices he couldn't undo. In that moment, they chose love over reputation and the town's judgment. Claire's forgiveness was but one step toward redemption. They organized the literary festival together, and it was their love story that captivated hearts. The night before the event, as moonlight filtered through his study window, Alex confessed his son's existence. With trembling hands, he handed her a framed photo. His boy, now a grown man who had come to terms with his heritage. As they spoke of shared dreams and personal demons, their love became a beacon that drew people in, reminding them the power of forgiveness and acceptance. The festival was more than an event, it was testament to second chances and those brave enough to embrace the truth. Together, hand in hand, under the same stars where it all began, they walked into the sunrise. A new chapter as company founders and partners, ready to weave stories that would echo for years to come. In the quiet moments of planning, when pages blurred with reality, Alex confessed his love. It was then Grace understood. She had chosen him before learning about their son. Their love had been a story waiting to be penned. One where forgiveness was the author and acceptance its ink. As they embarked on this new chapter together, their bond cemented beneath that same starry sky, they knew every challenge would be faced side by side, with each other as guide. Underneath the telescope, he whispered, "I love you." And so did she.